Hi guys, it's Dark Age Week here on beastsofwar.com, and we have an amazing prize pool that must be won. First up, we have an amazing 1000 point 2-player starter bundle for you and me to get into the game, including 2 500 point armies, all the cards, tokens and templates you need to get into the game, and signed copies of the core rulebook and the Forsaken book. We then have 7 starter sets up for grabs, also including a signed copy of the core rulebook. As if that wasn't enough prizes for you, our Beasts of War members are in with a chance of winning 5 amazing spot prizes from some of the coolest comments this week. So, hi guys, welcome to another Dark Age Week video. It is time to have a look at the Brood. So, who are these guys? Because we've seen some creepy people so far. These are even more creepy. What are these?
Okay, so we've talked about, in some of the other videos, we've talked about how Samaria wasn't actually part of the, it's a planet on the edge of the galactic rim. The galactic government didn't want to look after it, so left it alone. Corporations went there so they could do all their dirty and nefarious things.
Yes, all those lovely bioweapon experiments, all of the illegal weapons testing and chemical research, which we know doesn't happen today.
Not at all. So imagine a facility where lots of the genetic sort of bioengineering has been going on. The corporation decides to pull their people out, their scientists, their technicians, pull everybody out and turn off the lights and go.
All our high-value assets are out of here.
They're out of here.
Lock the door. We're off.
Everything else, it's just going to die. Without us there, it's just going to die.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of it did.
Right.
But some of it survived and basically made its way out from the facility into the swamplands to the south of the Sumerian sort of area that we deal with.
Yeah.
And kind of went from there.
Okay. Well, I've got some images of some of these creatures, shall we call them.
Yep.
What are these?
So on the left here you have Murtros. So the Brood actually have technically four characters with them. You have the Broodmere, which is the kind of, not hive mind sentience, but the progenitor that made everything that is in the Brood.
Right.
Of all the creations, it gave personality to only 3 of them.
Right.
One of them is Murtros, who acts as one of the 3 field commanders for the Broodmere to go and do any operations that need to be done outside the swamplands, or just basically take care of everything.
Okay.
On the right, you have the Howler. The Howler was actually created as a means of being the ultimate field commander, the smartest, best, and greatest creation the Brood has ever made.
Right.
When it came out of the vat, it was a basically giant walking tumor. The Brood, though, in its arrogance, has deemed there's no way it could have accidentally made something like that. Some outside force has tampered with the process, so it just keeps redoing this process over again to correct the mistake that happened, and every time it just keeps spitting out one of these Howler things.
Right. So, basically, I have tried to create the ultimate bioweapon. It's all gone wrong.
That's not my fault.
Not my fault. Fair enough. Abilities-wise on the tabletop, what are we seeing here?
So with the Brood, you're going to have an army that has army-wide regeneration. So they're going to keep getting back up unless you make sure they're dead. So the trick with fighting them is, again, focus your targets, make sure that thing is dead and is going to stay dead, and then move on to the next one.
Okay.
In addition to that, the Brood have a number of biogens, which are sort of an upgrade system that they can take, so they can always adapt themselves to whatever situation they need to.
Yeah.
So you're going to have an army that's adaptable and has a lot of staying power. Not necessarily the best defense or armor, but just they can take all that damage and then get back up.
I'm guessing I'm going to see quite a few multi-wound units in this army.
Oh yes. The Brood, almost all of their troops are going to be multi-wound, even the smaller ones, even when they're reduced to a dying state, you're going to have to hit them again, otherwise they're just going to heal and get back up.
Okay, so you're not going to be taking the miniatures off once you kill them because it's just sitting there, clicking and squeaking on the ground until it gets back up.
Exactly.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Our next set is this guy. So who is this?
So this right here is Mean Jellybean. And the first thing everyone asks is they always snicker at the name and ask, well, where'd that name come from?
Right.
So along with a lot of the Dark Age artwork, the Brood were based off Braum artwork, and this is a direct piece from Braum named Mean Jellybean.
Okay.
And so we incorporated that into the backstory, and it was kind of one of those funny things of MJB here was one of the original creations in that bio research facility, and it was the MJB vat that the scientists nicknamed the Mean Jellybean vat. So it kept hearing itself referred to that the entire time it was growing, and just assumed that that's what its name was. Flash forward 500 years, and the humor is lost because that's its name.
Yeah. So now the name of the Mean Jellybean is whispered in terror across Samaria.
Exactly.
Yep.
Lovely. We then have a couple more here. So who do we have here?
On the left here, we have a Saw Blade, which is one of the elite units in the Brood. They're high armor, high damage dealing. And on the right here, we have Numbskull, which is another type of unit, although it seems like it would carry a name character. This has specifically been made to be a giant rampaging tank for the Brood. This was made when they encountered settlements with walls and things that they actually couldn't pierce and whatnot. So what the Brood will do is they find a problem they can't fix, they will breed something to fix the problem.
Okay.
And this was made to fix that issue. This is basically a walking siege weapon.
Right. Well, I mean, like, with the naming of some of these, you can kind of see humans are naming these. They're not naming themselves. Because I look at the Numbskull and I'm thinking, yep, I can imagine some poor outcast standing on the walls of a settlement going, crap, here comes another Numbskull, get ready.
Well, one of the things I like about the Brood as a faction is that they view mankind as their creators and gods, because, well, they did create them. So when you had the fall happen, the Broodmere was basically this child that was left to grow itself up in the wilderness for centuries upon centuries. When mankind finally regained contact, and when I say regained contact, I mean stumbled across these horrific swamp monsters. The Brood viewed it as like, oh, our gods and creators have returned. Mankind went, swamp monsters, killed them with fire.
Burn.
So the Brood are all in this panic now because they believe that their gods have returned with a furious vengeance to come and kill them. So they're trying to figure out why and also adapt themselves to defend themselves.
Okay. That's a really interesting take on what it's like to live life as a monster. No, that's... Okay, that really has just caught me off guard there, because it's me going, okay, I'm looking at them. They're monsters. Kill them with fire. But no, there's something else happening here.
We love you, Justin. We love you. Thank you for creating us. No, not with
Why
so
what?
Exactly.
All right, no, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, for playing these on the tabletop, I like the idea that they're going to constantly be getting up and coming at you. Expense-wise, can you go Horde on this, or are we looking at another elite force?
On these, you're looking to, you can't go full Horde like you could with some of the other factions. Noting because Dark Age is a skirmish game, your Horde army is going to be about a dozen models instead of 6. You can definitely fill out the ranks because they've got some smaller, cheaper options such as like Broodhounds, or even the very smallest dregs of biomatter, the Broodlings and the Puds. These are sentient in just the most rudimentary sense. They're literally mouths with legs that just propel themselves across the battlefield so they can eat.
Its only impulse is eat.
Exactly.
Eat. Oh look, yummy, 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 yummy.
And in some of those situations, if you don't have a model to specifically control those, that is all they will do, is they will move toward the nearest enemy and try to attack them.
Right. They won't try and eat your own guys, yeah?
Right.
Okay, that's one good thing.
They know it tastes good.
Yep.
All right, well, guys, that's the Brood. That is a very interesting take on a monster faction. Drop us a comment below. Tell us what you think. Are the Brood for you? We will see you in the next video.